Hello everybody. It's Zen again. I'm Zen. It's me again. And it's June 2024, which is Pride Month in NYC. So I think it's all over the internet. I think just about everybody knows this at this point, but whatever. I'm going to, you didn't get a happy Pride from me yet. So happy Pride everybody. Woo. Okay. It's Pride Month. I'm on here. And again, like I've struggled for a really long time with being consistent. I've struggled with really long. You know what? It's not the struggle. Isn't really being consistent. That's what it is, right? I guess I still have a lot of conflict around being seen, and um, and I feel like people think that that's because I'm shy, or that I'm like overwhelmed in an intimidated kind of way. But it's like it's not so much that. I guess I just had some experiences of I guess encountering people who essentially see what they want to see, right? It's like we deal with a lot of, I guess when you deal with a lot of people you feel like aren't really seeing you, it kind of turns you off to the idea of people seeing you. And it's like, um, like, I don't know. You know, there's nothing wrong with like wanting to be famous, but that was never a thing for me. I never really wanted to be famous. I just wanted to be helpful and useful. I wanted to be successful, and I think there's some maybe naive part of me that gravitated towards the idea of being successful without being famous. um, and I'm still reminding myself of how much, reminding myself of how long it really took for me to even figure out that I'm trans, and therefore like learn what dysphoria is, right? So I was dysphoric before I knew the words for it, and giving myself that reminder, and it's like, like am I uncomfortable being seen, or was I dysphoric at a time that I didn't have the words for it? And then I just internalized as me not wanting to be seen, and then it just became a habit that I just kept doing. Like, I don't know if that's what it is. Something like that. I'm just sharing and processing out loud. I honestly feel like my spirit guides and ancestors have really been pushing me to just share. And so I'm just sharing right now, and I think I've said this before, but I'll be honest with you, like the first 10, 20 posts, I don't know if they're even going to make sense, but I find it easier for me to get myself organized after I've just started. I get started, and then I can watch it back, and then I do some feedback, and maybe I'll get some good feedback in the comments or something like that, and I apply that, and then it gets more organized, I promise. So one thing I've been experiencing this year is pain, just like pains in my body. I fell off my bike earlier this year, which is also kind of weird for me. I guess, when you're an athletic kid growing up, and an athletic person, I guess I'm not used to having these freak accidents. But I fell on my bike, I hurt my hand, which sucks because I'm a musician. And so I was a little mad about that. I was a little discouraged about that. And I remind myself, like, Z, there's a lot of things that you can do the other things. And I admit I've been flip-flopping. And then at some point I just started getting this sharp pain in my right foot. And I have no idea where that's from. I didn't fall. I didn't bang it or anything. I don't remember twisting my ankle. I was thinking maybe it had something to do with like, these are definitely cheaper sneakers than the last pair I had. So like, I'm like, is it that? And then also my shoulder, right? So I've been getting these crazy shoulder pains. And so I started stretching. I've been stretching a lot more because the pain was just getting too much, becoming too much. Started going for a longer walk, working out again. And finally, just yesterday, I was like, wait, you didn't even like look it up. Like, I'm one of those people that would look up like spiritual meaning to things online. You go right to Google, YouTube. I put in pain on the right side of my body, spiritual meaning, because it finally registered like that. It keeps happening on the right side. Even that's why I'm not wearing my gauges, because I lost one, and then it also occurred to me after the fact that the one I lost was also on the right side. And so I did a little research. I Googled YouTube, blah, blah, blah. And the right side of your body represents your masculine energy. Masculine energy. I'm going to tell you the notes that I took. Pardon, I'm doing this because of the bugs. I'm outside. It says father wound, over giving, putting others first, sacrificing personal needs, activity, drive, thoughts, too much anger built up, not expressing that. There's some things that I'm angry about still that I haven't really expressed. And this one I really liked, this line. It said boundaries around where you need to go in your life, right? Because we have these plans of things that we want to do, but then we got to be like, okay, well, if I do this, what is my mom gonna say? And then like, if I go and just do that, what is my sister gonna say? And that creeps into my mind too. And then unfortunately, I'm just sometimes being overly considerate of everyone when like we're all adults and they've got their lives together. While I don't, you know what I mean? I don't have my shit together, and I keep being overly considerate of people who ain't in the same boat that I'm in. I wrote, it says, give voice to the pain. And one person said, maybe the way that you're stepping into your new chapter is not in alignment with what and who you truly are. And then I looked up right shoulder specifically. That was about the present moment, right? It's crazy how that happens. Okay, that says the present moment. I feel like somebody said foot. I think it was the same thing. Similar as just the right side in general. Moving. Yeah, so yeah. My hesitation and moving forward with these activities is manifesting as like literal physical pain in my body. And the funny thing is, I looked this up yesterday. The pain in my foot is like half gone since yesterday, since I actually just looked at it and sat with that and was processing that, and been having discussions with myself. And I've been walking around all day today, and like there's a little bit of a pain there, but it's literally like half gone. Like half of it just went away almost instantly, to be honest with you. And then like today is almost gone. So I'm like, okay. Which is also why I'm like doing this vlog post, right? Because again, spirit put it on my heart that I need to share, and so I guess I should actually just do that. And what else? I had this dream. I actually had this dream a little while ago, which I'm pretty sure coincides with all of this. And then I had an exchange, and I had this dream. Okay, so yeah, I was online, right? Shout out to this person. wishing you the best. I can feel your passion. You'll get to where you're going. It's just, but I was online and this person posted something, right? And was like, oh, and I don't know, no offense when I say this, I don't know why people online still say things like, nobody tells you, but it's like everybody tells us all the time on this thing. But anyway, oh, no one, people don't tell you. He was talking about shadow work. And he was like, yeah, shadow work is something about shadow work being difficult, and try getting your parents to take accountability. And I commented, that's because shadow work is about tending to your shadow. And of course they're just like, yeah, we gotta face our shadow. And I'm like, they're not entirely wrong, but it gave me something to reflect on, right? I don't really confront my family. I love my family to death, and I don't think they're evil people, but I also don't think they're perfect. And then even a perfect person can step on somebody's toes sometimes, and that's okay. And it's okay for that person to be upset about it, and it's okay for that person to say that they're upset. And I'm one of those people where one of my habits is, if I'm mad at you, I'll just not talk to you. I just not talk to you. I just try to make it disappear. I guess if I feel like the connection is salvageable, I'll say something, but maybe it depends on how deep of a connection we had before the disagreement. I'm getting hungry. I don't know if I know what I'm saying right now. Oh yeah, I had this dream where I'm sorry. So I had this dream soon after this conversation, and so I was thinking about that, right? Like I said, I don't really confront my family. I tend to I deal with myself. I do my own, But long story short, I had this dream where, because in my apartment, I don't actually have a room right now, right? It's a situation. I don't even have a room right now, but in the dream, it was dark in the apartment, and I was in the back room, and there wasn't even like a knock on the door or anything. I just knew someone was at my door. So I went up, I got up to open the door, and there was a small black dog standing there. Not tiny, but small. A little smaller than medium, but bigger than small, And but bigger than extra small, but it was a little dog, and I'm like, ooh, doggy, right? Like my knee-jerk reaction. It's like, hi, doggy. And almost in an instant, the small dog shifts into this big dog, and then the big dog, how when a dog that's big enough stands on his hind legs, they can put their arms on your shoulder. They can be as tall as you are. So this went from a little dog to a big dog, and then he did that thing, and then like the dog wanted a hug, and I'm like, okay, because I love dogs, and that would be nice. And right? And so I feel like that was Spirit's way of, I guess, letting me know that, what they call it, embracing your shadow, embracing the shadow work. And I mentioned it to a friend, and she said it could also be like, when you have a small problem and that you don't face, and then becomes a big problem. So maybe there was some shadow work that I didn't fully tend to, and it got bigger, and embracing that part of myself I guess the angry part of myself. I am angry. I'll admit, like there's some part of me. You know, one of my favorite lines right now in a movie is I think it was one of the Avengers movies. One of the Avengers movies when they needed Benjamin Banner to be the Hulk, right? Like he was like trying really hard to like be calm, and he didn't want to be Hulk anymore. And they were just like, the planet's in danger, and like we need you. And he finally shows up to the fight. He's like, I'm here, and let's do this. And he turned to go towards the fighting, and they said, well, wait, don't you need to turn first? Don't you need to get angry first? That's what they said. Like, wait a minute, don't you need to get angry first? And he goes, that's my secret, I'm always angry. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that might ring true for myself. I think the anger has taken me far enough. I maybe at the time, when you are stuck, anger can help. I'm not saying anger alone, but a little anger can help you get unstuck. When maybe you're dealing with a situation that's unfair, maybe you're even mad at yourself. Maybe you made a decision you wish you didn't make, and you're upset. And long story short, I see anger as fire, and sometimes that fire helps you to kind of like make an initial movement. It's like, I can't take this anymore, so I'm going to get out of here. I can't do this anymore, I'm going over here. I can't stand you anymore, so I'm going over here. So yeah, a little bit of anger can help you get going when you've been still for a really long time. And I guess I'm in a place in my life where the anger has taken me as far as maybe I don't need the anger right now, and maybe not that I don't need it, but maybe I need to express it better. I mean, I've been treated unfairly. Like, I've been treated unfairly in a lot of situations, and it's really messed up how life works that way. Sometimes I get a little upset about like just being a human being. Maybe that's what it is too. It's like, we have so much here. We have so much sun and water and trees and grass, and there's literally a goose playing in the grass behind me right now, and his little goose friend came over here looking for him, and a bunny rode by. I just feel like we have so much here, and somehow, some way, human beings it's like we make up reasons to be mad at each other. We make up reasons to hate each other. We make up reasons to separate. We make up reasons to stab each other in the back. So it's like, when I find myself in a situation where I feel like I'm being mistreated or treated unfairly, I'm not simply angry at that person. I'm not simply angry that this is happening right now to me. I consider myself, I'm a pretty strong person. Quite frankly, it would take a lot more than whatever people have been shelling out to tear down my self-esteem. But in my mind, I would think to myself, like, what if I was someone that didn't have one? Like, if I was someone that didn't have such a strong self-esteem, if I was someone that didn't have such a strong connection with spirit, some of the things people have tried with me could have literally been the end of my life. And for some folks, that's exactly what they wanted to happen. And for other folks, I didn't even think that was a thought. Sometimes people are just acting out of their insecurity, and it's just like, what happened? It's like, we're really out here dropping bombs on innocent people out of tradition. Oh yeah, we have a tradition of fighting, so we should just keep fighting. Like, lack is the illusion. Lack is the illusion that makes us so scrappy with each other. We've got to stop doing this. And I think, yeah, I've been a little bit upset with like the healing community too. I'll admit I am one of those people that might have been a little naive and thought going into the healing community it would be a little bit easier to make friends, because I'm like, okay, everyone here is looking to heal, correct? I'm sorry, y'all, but the healing community is not any nicer than any other job industry I've ever been in. I think it's unfortunate that we've turned the healing community in so many ways is turning into a job industry. I mean, don't get me wrong, this is how I make my living as well. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm answering a calling. I'm not just doing something because other people are doing. I told you, I picked up maybe you didn't hear me, but I picked up my first astrology book when I was 8 and 9 years old. As soon as I could learn to read, those were the kinds of books I read, because that's what we had around the house, and it was an easy read, and I like science. And so I saw it as, I don't know, it was an easy read. It was in the house. And then it just, it turned into a thing. So that, like, long before it was a fad, I remember being a teenager and people asking me, like, why do you know all that? What's the point of knowing all that astrology? I'm a little older than I look. Again, you gotta watch some of those old videos. I'm stop telling people how old I am. But people used to say to me, like, why do you know all that? What's the point of knowing all that? It's so funny how 20 years later, people are like, what's your secret? I have no secret, y'all. I have really great energy. I have integrity. Have you ever, like, literally had somebody, like, inquire within, like, because you have this, I guess, amazing energy, and they're like, what's your secret? Just to learn that they don't have integrity. I'm like, is it the integrity that you're talking about? The authenticity? Is that what you're talking about? And I think it's time to accept that some people are just born with more, right? Some people are born with more money. Some people have more height. Some people have more muscles. Some people have more melanin. Some people have more hair. And some people have more spiritual rank than you. Some people have more spiritual power than you, and it just is what it is. We all have strengths. What is yours? What is yours? And it's like, just because there's who am I thinking of? Like, it's like, just because there's a Vin Diesel doesn't mean there isn't The Rock, right? Like, when I think he can't get any bigger, that man gets bigger. I'm just saying, like, there's always someone in the world that has more of something than you. That's neither here nor there. You don't have a lack because someone has a more. Like, come on now. But it's okay. It's okay. Also, I feel like the point, and I thought the point of us healing and awakening is almost like, isn't the point of therapy to not need therapy anymore? Right? And so healing has to you gotta go into similarly. I want to help you in such a way that you don't need my help anymore. So I really took my time in healing me and seeing me and embracing me and fixing me. I took my time going through these processes before putting myself out there as somebody that can help you. Which is why I tell you, I'm a lot older than I look. And I even procrastinated and if anything, I hesitated and procrastinated. Oh, here comes that goose again. I can't tell, gender of goose. All I know is that goose has been looking for this goose for a while now and literally calling out whatever they're calling out. And this one has stayed in the grass the entire time. I don't even think I can turn this around. I don't think I can even show you. It's hilarious though. Let me see. I can turn myself around. There's a goose in the background. Looking around, looking left and right. There's a goose in the background looking left and right. There's one in the grass that you could barely see. And I'm not gonna lie, at first I was telling like, yo, they over here. Like, they over here. So of course the goose is ignoring me because they probably thought I was just talking smack. But that one still ducked down, so I'm like, that's pretty intentional. They're not responding. I feel like I've seen these two here before hanging out. Maybe they broke up. It happens. I feel like Animal World has these situations too. He is not coming up. This one's looking for him. He is not coming up. Okay, anyway. How much time you got? I'm also like new to vlogging and stuff, so I thought we was only allowed 15 minutes. Y'all, I'm gonna take my time and like actually read the fine print on things. I've actually just been using them, and so yeah, we're living, we're learning. I'm doing all right. I think I'm doing all right. Maybe this made sense, maybe it didn't. I don't feel like recording another one. The next one will probably make, each one will probably make more sense than the last. And again, the more I do it, the more I'll be able to hone myself in. So maybe by the time we get to another, 6 or 7, 8 posts, that one will look like something. Oh yeah, I have tarot cards on me. Oh man, what a day. What a day. But yeah, back to that. Yeah, back what I was saying about the shadow work and that exchange is that, okay, that person's not entirely wrong in that a part of confronting your family can be considered a part of your shadow work. But this idea of doing collective shadow work, don't waste your time. I'm gonna say this because our parents are people. I think we forget sometimes that, my mom had me when she was like 32, I think. Definitely early 30s, which means she lived 30 something years before I came around, and she was a whole person with a whole experience. She had other kids, she had other relationships, she had other experiences, and so I wouldn't know all of what's in her shadow. I would only know what pertains to the two of our, I would only know in terms of our relationship. And yeah, sure, there's nothing wrong with confronting your family and hoping for the best. But I would say if you call yourself doing healing work, and you find yourself getting all angry and frustrated and huffing and puffing like that, then you can pretty much guarantee that you allowed too much of your own ego in that exchange. And so even with good intention, a lot of times people say, oh, I want to get them to take accountability. Like, just that wording, it's like adults don't like to be told what to do, for one, especially adults that are older than you. And nobody likes to feel like they're being told what to do. And then sometimes, younger folks, you start awakening, you start learning these things, and you kind of start getting into your ego because you learned something. Just because you learn that there's such thing as shadow work doesn't make you an expert now on shadow work. And then trying to get other people to do it before you really understand it for yourself is always a terrible idea. It's always a terrible idea. And a different kind of somewhat of a different kind of approach would be like, well, no, not somewhat. It's do your shadow work. And when people around you see you working on yourself and they see it working, that's when they're more inclined to kind of take after you. You'd be surprised how many people around you look up to you and want to do what you're doing, But if you were to turn to tell them to do it, they don't want to do it. But when they see you doing it, they do it. Like, there's people around me like that. And being a good leader is understanding that. Sorry, the bugs are getting a little extra right now. Maybe because it's getting late. Maybe because they figured out I've been sitting here a while. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I'm just getting some stuff out of my system. But yeah, do your shadow work. Do yours. And you can invite people to do shadow work with you, but you can't make people do shadow work. You can't make somebody take accountability for anything. You can't make. Think about the word make. It's like, if you're starting to get forceful, it's not healing anymore. If you think you know what I mean? If it's getting forceful, you're not healing anymore. It's the difference between forcing and a little push. Giving somebody a little push and being forceful. And if you're just angry talk back and forth, there's no actual healing happening. You're just venting. And so, right? And so yeah, I have my cards with me. So I figure, since I have them with me, again, but it's not a tarot channel. I am gonna pull some cards. Maybe I'll start an actual tarot channel. I haven't decided yet, because I'm gonna put everything on one page right now, because I'm getting organized. I'm getting my life organized. When I over compartmentalize too fast, I end up all over the place again. See, this card keeps coming out. This Nine of Swords. I haven't even read these books in a long time, so I'm just kind of going off of what I see. Like this blue and the blue green. She's outside, but this blue green almost looks like she's underwater at the same time. And 9 is the number of transformation. She looked like she's having a hard time, right? Oh wow, she's wearing red like I am. She's outside like I am. OMG. She got a pillow. I got my book bag. I use that for a pillow. So yeah, it's like 9. To me, 9 is endings. It's 1 through 9, and then there's 10 through 19, right? So 9 is endings. 9 is transformation. And I guess this is me knowing that it's time to step more into this new identity, but being in my head. When I see a lot of birds like this, it makes me think of overthinking, which is, again, when we say what I said before about maybe you're not stepping into your new chapter in a way that is in alignment with who you truly are, right? I'm not an overthinker. If that makes sense. It's like you can overcome a lot of things, and then you're met with adversity again, and then you realize which of these bad habits a lot of bad habits can actually creep back when we start to feel stuck, and when we start to get into survival mode again. So that's fascinating. It went straight from this to this. It went straight from this to this. It went straight from this to this. What's this? 10 of Pentacles. It went straight from 9 of Swords to 10 of Pentacles. That was really fast. Oh man. They're just stepping into yourself. It's like it could be that fast. They're kind of saying that to me right now. And then maybe this is for, I believe like attracts like, and who resonates with my energy will find me. And we all almost always, we'll have some things in common. And so sometimes, as much as we say success doesn't happen overnight, what kind of almost can happen overnight is you can change your mind overnight. You can change your mind overnight. You can let something go. You can finally be letting something go. This card, I don't know. Just that drastic change from 9 of Swords to 10 of Pentacles just makes me feel enthusiastic about the changes that I need to make for myself. Not right now. All the sounds. I'm just gonna pretend like that's a celebration. Make sure it's applauding me. right? A celebration. And then there's 10 of swords, right? And so, yeah, they're just like, step into that transformation. Do you celebrate. I overcame a lot. In spite of, whatever it is I feel like I haven't done yet. I've done a lot. And yeah, so yeah, then begins from 10. Going from like 9 of swords from this to this. Right? She's like, oh my god, what do I do? All these birds flying around. And then she's like, I got this. Matter of fact, I'm so one with nature that I can get these birds to just line up like this. I don't know. Maybe I'm exaggerating there, but I don't know. I appreciate Spirit doing with this red. Something told me that I should wear red today. Wearing red and blue, right? Getting grounded and opening up that throat chakra. Oh, man. Right? And they're just like, once you gain that clarity, you can move forward over that horizon into the light, and then harvest. Whoa, that was kind of quick. So I don't know how many people out here like me have been intuiting some things coming into your life for a while and it just felt like it was taking forever. And then maybe there's some part of you, like, for all my strong intuitives out there, you feel everything now. And so part of learning how to be in your psychic ability is patience. Patience, because you feel everything now doesn't mean it's going to happen now. And so I'll admit, like, there were some things I was intuiting happening a year ago. And I started making certain decisions based on what I was intuiting. And I realized that I was making these decisions, but maybe still avoiding those decisions. If that makes sense. I made these decisions, but I wasn't doing those things. So it's like, not right now. That's my new greeting. I realized too, like, with the whole transitioning thing, I was very take care with everybody, because I really mean it. Like, take care of yourself. But this I'm starting to pass. This whole being a trans person, and I'm honestly not really sure how passing I am or not. In this weird kind of way, I think I look exactly the same, but I feel like in some crazy way I was almost seeing myself in spite of myself. I don't know what I'm saying. Did that make sense? I feel like I was seeing myself in spite of myself, and then now that things have changed, I'm not sure what changed, except for the things that's super obvious, like this. Does that make sense? Yes. I think it does. And I don't look that different. I didn't start my whole HRT thing until mid-30s. So I feel like there's certain changes. I don't know. I feel like there's certain changes you anticipate more when you're younger, and then as you get older and you're starting HRT at a later age, honestly, I don't think the scientists have any idea. I feel like they're studying us for what to tell the next generation of people who does the HRT. They don't really know. What am I saying? Okay. Oh, yeah, they got that temperance card. This one, I don't even remember putting this one down. I was just fidgeting and stuff. Temperance is just like, it's literally just balancing out. It's just what I'm doing, right? I'm balancing out my masculine, my feminine, the yin, the yang, your light, your dark, the sun, the moon. Nine of Wands, standing tall, holding her light. standing tall, holding her light. Right? I guess that's what I'm doing, right? I'm posting this. I'm shining my light. Shining my light. I guess here's what I share. I'm winding down. And let me tell you why I'm here. I'm gonna tell you why I'm here. I'm gonna tell you some of why I'm here. I don't know if I can say everything right now. I answered the call. You know, I felt a calling on my life. I felt a calling on my life a long time ago, long before I could ever articulate it. And somehow I just knew to trust it. When I was in elementary school, kindergarten, first grade, elementary school, I was what I call a selective mute. I called it selective mute. I didn't do much talking at all. I pretty much never talked. That's why I called it selective mute. Unless you asked me a question, maybe I answered you. You know, if I can get the words out, it was usually. And so, but I feel like that was intuitively for my own protection. And when you're a seer, you see what other people don't see. And there's a lot of people claiming to be seers out there, and I do understand the trust around that, trusting someone who says I'm a seer, right? But when you're a seer, I was a seer. I was born a seer, and I didn't understand until later that people couldn't see me in the way that I could see them. And I believe that that's part of why I was so self-conscious about myself, and part of why I was so quiet. There was also, trauma. There was some trauma going on in my apartment. I mean, nothing. That's the thing, right? It's like a lot of the things my family experienced is not as bad as some of the other things people experience, and so you tend to be kind of dismissive of yours experience because it's like, it's not as bad as theirs. And so, like, who am I to be traumatized, if that makes sense? And so, yeah, I realized they wasn't. I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah, I had this calling on my life from a young age, and started reading these astrology books since I was young, and I flip-flopped a lot because I live in this world. I live in a world, and I was trying to figure out I wanted to understand what purpose is, right? As opposed to, I feel like, we come into this world and they start asking you questions from the time that you're like 6 years old. Like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And it's like, why are we even asking a 6-year-old that? He don't know what all the jobs are there is to do. The 6-year-old might not know what an actuary is unless they have a parent who's an actuary, right? And so, just felt like, I don't know, I just felt frustrated with this sense of I gotta choose a thing and do it. And it's like, but what is my purpose? But why am I here in the world at all? Like, what's the point of this job if it's not going to make me feel fulfilled in this world or take me closer to this purpose? I don't know. I just had this strong sense of like, I'm here for a reason, and I need to uncover what that reason is. And in my early 20s, that was when I was revisiting astrology, right? Because I was reading the books when I was younger, But at that time, I was just reading it. I was just reading the horoscopes and reading about each sign because I just found that all fascinating. I actually kind of pivoted a little bit and started studying astronomy and physics, and was like, yeah, I'll be a scientist, because again, I was taking the thing that I was passionate about and feeling like I need to be, I guess, more realistic about it. And so it's like, why don't I just go be a scientist? Why don't I be a science teacher? Why don't I be a teacher? Look, I look 15 years younger than I am. It was difficult being a teacher. Those kids, I look like one of the kids, and I guess I didn't have that. I feel like I have a little bit more now than younger. When I was younger, them kids, when I come into the room, the kids want to have fun. They wasn't necessarily disrespectful towards me, but kids see me and they're like, that person looks like a good time. And they don't know how to get serious around me, which is a catch-22. So I definitely did much better at like after school programs than in a classroom. But I love that I have those experiences. Yeah, I came to my early 20s. These planes kind of interrupted me a little bit. Is it just me? I live near an airport, and I think they're experiencing rush hour because they've been coming out like every 5 minutes. But I refuse to not do these videos. Like I said, the first couple of ones it's going to be rough because I'm still trying to figure out, quiet places to sit. My apartment is kind of a full house, and so it's just easier to be outside. It's a beautiful park. The weather is nice. Oh, I farted again. Don't tell nobody. I actually got my feet up on the bench because the grass is kind of tall and it's been tickling my feet, and that's so annoying. But yeah, no, why I'm here, because I genuinely feel a calling from God. I genuinely feel a calling from spirit guides and my ancestors, and some of the things that I've overcome, Spirit wants me to share how I did that, overcoming the spell work overcoming spell work and black magic, overcoming overcoming depression, overcoming the spells we put on ourselves. Yeah. Oh my God. I talked for almost 50 minutes and I didn't say that. The spells we put on ourselves, and why I was experiencing all that, large reason why I was experiencing all that pain and some of the experiences that I've been manifesting into my reality is had a lot to do with this constant downplaying of myself. I keep downplaying, and then when I experience the consequence of it, I'm like, I did it again. So like I said, I don't be mad at people. Sometimes I just be mad. Like, why do I feel like I'm in an obstacle course all the goddamn time? I'm sorry, excuse my language. I don't mean to say goddamn. All the damn time. Sorry, try not to show too much skin. Where's that sun facing? The sun is behind me, that's why. Let's go this way. That feels weird, but alright. We'll do this. We're wrapping up. I'm literally just trying to go a full 60 minutes because that makes an hour. And that makes me feel like I did something today. So it's perfectly okay if you want to cut out right now. But yeah, again, happy Pride, everybody. Yeah, that goose literally just sitting, chilling. That other one came and left twice. All right, so yeah, some of the things that I've been doing to help myself get unstuck is be in the park, being in nature, be outside, moving around, getting physical. I find working out in any way to be a great way to start just getting yourself moving again. We've just been, self-isolating. That's what I've been at. Self-isolating. had to take a timeout. Look, people that I took timeouts from, I don't hate y'all. It's just certain things you don't quite get, and that's fine. It's nothing. And yeah, but yeah, I've been over isolating and like procrastinating, and so I feel like one of the simplest ways to start unstucking yourself is physically moving. Going for walks, lift those weights, ride that bike, take up a new hobby, learn, I don't know, play an instrument. I've been coloring and coloring books. Literally just simple 99-cent store coloring books. Just journaling. There are a few friends I haven't seen in a while. I think I'm gonna hit them up, see how they've been. You know, I'm not usually that guy that's like, hey. But again, I'm over isolating, and I realize what I do sometimes within the over isolating is it's like I allow myself to forget. Like yeah, I had some weird encounters with some people, but there are some people I never had a weird encounter with, and there are some people I've been friends with for a really long time, that I've been friends with for so long that we're actually family at this point. And so maybe see how they're doing. Oh, I'm in New York City. It's, again, you know, I guess I keep saying that. I guess I'll get used to this vlogging thing, I promise. I'm not that terrible. I'm just very rusty. I'm very rusty around socializing. But yeah, for those who might find this and you're in New York City, I definitely love going to the beach. I love going to the park. And let me know if y'all want to play some ball or something. You know, we can shoot some hoops. We can play some catch. We can throw rocks in the water. Water. Sitting by the water, sitting next to a large body of water, or any water. It could be a lake, a pond. The bigger the better, I would say. Rivers are great because that's like flowing water. Flow, right? It's good. This is good. Okay. I don't think I did that bad. I don't think I did too bad. It's not exactly 60 minutes, but we're pretty much done here, right? Yeah, again, if you got any like real constructive criticism, by all means. And if you have some interesting questions that I can turn into topics for, you know, if you have any really good questions that I can like turn into a whole topic, I would absolutely do that. Thank you for spending this time with me. I hope everything I gotta work on like a signature exit as well too, I guess. Yeah, so yeah, this is Zen out. Take care, have a good one, really enjoy your pride, and I promise the next one won't be in a month. I'm working on my consistency, but if, you know, if one or two people actually left the question, that would make this easier. Later.